I'd like to welcome everybody back for the second day of the 2014 SSEP National Conference at the Smithsonian National Air and Space Museum. Our first featured presenter today represents an organization that is a truly remarkable partner for the Student Spaceflight Experiments Program. The Center for the Advancement of Science and Space was charged by the United States Congress to oversee the operation of the U.S. National Laboratory on the International Space Station. And Diane Matthews, their education manager, is here to talk about CASIS and what they are doing, the remarkable work they are doing on orbit to open up low Earth orbit to commercial space. I should tell you that as a national partner, we work with them to promote awareness of the International Space Station, this most remarkable machine in orbit, possibly the most sophisticated machine the human race has ever built. And as a national partner, they also provide a significant amount of funding through a block grant for each of the flight opportunities. This is a commercial space venture, and as a nonprofit, we have to do this program full cost recovery. For us to do SSEP costs $21,500 for a community, and our staff work very, very hard to try to find underwriters for a community to get them aboard. Most of those underwriters are typically local companies that have a vested interest in their own community, that are looking at workforce development to inspire the next generation of scientists and engineers. And often what will happen for a community is that we will get really close, and the deadline for letters of commitment of funding is approaching, and we might be at $17,000 or $18,000 pledged, and we don't know who else we can go to try to find the rest of the money. And that's when CASIS comes to the rescue. Their national partnership dollars are discretionary, and we have the ability to use those dollars to plug any last-minute shortfalls to get a community aboard. And because of what CASIS has done, we estimate that about 40 of the communities that have participated in this program to date have participated because of the CASIS national funding. They make this program possible for nearly half the communities. So that's why you will see in the acknowledgments on many of the presentations at the conference that the Center for the Advancement of Science and Space is present in the acknowledgments. So with that, it is a great honor to introduce Diane Matthews, a great honor to introduce our national partner that makes this program possible.
Good morning, everyone. You know, it's such an honor to be here with all of you student researchers today. I'm really thrilled. Like Jeff said, you know, I'm the education manager at the Center for the Advancement of Science and Space, otherwise known as CASIS. Well, what is CASIS? CASIS is the non-profit organization that serves as the sponsor for non-NASA science and technology payloads destined for the International Space Station, U.S. National Laboratory. As the manager of the National Lab, we have a cooperative agreement with NASA. They provide the transportation, logistics, and on-orbit resources, and then CASIS identifies research and technology opportunities. We evaluate those opportunities, and then we prioritize them for flight. Next, please. You know, it's hard to believe that the International Space Station has celebrated 15 years in orbit. During most of that time, it was under construction, and research was somewhat limited. Then, in 2005, Congress designated the U.S. portion as a national laboratory. And then, in 2011, when assembly was complete, NASA selected CASIS as the manager of that lab. And one of our jobs is to increase the utilization of the lab and also to ramp up the research. Right now, as we're all sitting here today, there are 6 astronauts and cosmonauts living and working in space. 3 are from Russia, One is from Germany, and there's 2 Americans, Commander Stephen Swanson and Reed Wiseman. I'd like to show you a video clip of astronauts Swanson and Wiseman as they explain the importance of sending science to space for life on Earth. We'll also hear from several researchers whose protein crystallization experiments were launched on SpaceX 3 in April of this year.
Greetings from the International Space Station National Laboratory. We are orbiting 250 miles above you in the world's only microgravity laboratory. Here on the ISS, we are conducting research targeted towards disease therapy, drug discovery, and overall benefit to human health. We are conducting science in space to benefit life at home on Earth. With the space station now complete, the National Laboratory is used for all types of research, and there are truly amazing discoveries that are happening up here right now.
Microgravity provides an incredibly unique environment for research that cannot be replicated on Earth. Removing gravity induces a vast array of changes in biology ranging from bacteria to humans, including global alterations in gene expression, 3-dimensional aggregation of cells into tissue-like architecture, and much more. The Center for the Advancement of Science in Space, CASIS, enables research that will improve the health and well-being of people and our planet. As the managers of the ISS National Laboratory, CASIS is focused on maximizing the use of the space station for innovative and game-changing research.
For the first time ever, the International Space Station is open and available for all types of research to be considered. Microgravity provides a unique environmental exposure that simply cannot be replicated on Earth. Removing the physical aspects of gravity provides new and novel questions that can be asked of science. From biomedical research to the material sciences, CASIS is opening up new opportunities. In fact, many intriguing research initiatives are going on right now.
In partnership with CASIS, we're flying some very novel proteins that have never been crystallized before. And what's special about these proteins is they're involved in several high-impact diseases that we really need to tackle. One of them being cystic fibrosis, and 2 other targets that we're flying are involved in a phenomenon called multidrug resistance, in which cancer cells learn how to defend against chemotherapies and eventually become ineffective in chemotherapy, and the patient loses their life. So we want to get the structure of these proteins, and they've never been solved before.
Our hypothesis with CASIS is that microgravity will not only grow better crystals, but for some proteins, it actually may allow them to crystallize in the first place.
We're flying 2 monoclonal antibodies that we're investigating for multiple human diseases. There's only been 6 human whole antibody structures done, and we're very excited about using microgravity to help us solve the structure of these 2 monoclonal antibodies. And this structure, we hope, will aid us in making better medications for our patients, make them safer, more compliant, and easier for them to take.
We're trying to grow protein crystals on the International Space Station, and the belief is that under the microgravity environment, we could grow bigger crystals. And we're growing large volume crystals for neutron crystallography. And what that means is that we're using diffraction techniques of neutrons to decipher the definitive location of hydrogen atoms. And this is very important to know where hydrogen atoms are for any drug design or for any bioengineering of particular enzymes. So we're setting up an enzyme that's responsible for a lot of important biological processes, just for example, replication, gene expression, making fatty acids, and many other processes.
CASIS streamlines access to the International Space Station. We allow you to focus on what you want to do there rather than on how to get there. From idea to execution, CASIS accelerates the opportunities to conduct research in space. Come join us.
So you've seen a little bit about what CASIS research is about. The 3 gentlemen you saw explaining their research, like I said, their science went up on SpaceX 3 in April. They actually received some of their samples back 28 days later. in May. So they're analyzing their results as we speak right now. So it'll be interesting to see what the outcomes of their research is. And if you want to learn more about protein crystal growth in microgravity and other research areas such as Earth observation, remote sensing, energy capture and storage, which is actually going to be the upcoming solicitation that'll be released in the fall through CASIS for the research community. Materials science, maybe you want to learn more about plant science in microgravity. Maybe some new technological developments that are going to be happening on the space station, and not just in the microgravity environment, but on the exterior of the space station. There's the extreme temperatures and ultra vacuum and radiation in space. But please visit the CASIS website. There you'll find the latest on what's happening on the space station, and there's also a lot of good resources there for teachers and for students. Next, please. In addition to promoting commercial and academic utilization of the ISS, CASIS sponsors communities in the SSEP program. And that represents more than 15,000 students actively engaged in experiment design and proposal writing process through missions 5 and through 6. We're also proud sponsors of other education initiatives, such as the Ants in Space. They flew in December, by the way, and they did rather well. And the Zero Robotics program, which is an online computer programming competition for high school students and for middle school students. We're also looking at developing some of our own programs, and let's take a closer look at some of those. Next, please.
Here at CASIS, we are inspiring the next generation of researchers, explorers, and thinkers. Education is at the heart of the CASIS mission. As we continue to enable innovative research on the space station, we are also finding new ways to inspire, challenge, and educate students. Propelled by the one-of-a-kind access to the ISS U.S. National Laboratory, we have an incredible ability to support educators in their quest to equip students for ongoing passive inquiry, to take advantage of the limitless possibilities of space, and the limitless talent and insight of the best problem-solving mindsets in the world. STEM is awesome. CASIS STEM Outreach provides hands-on learning opportunities, promotes greater awareness of the International Space Station and the ISS National Laboratory, informs students and teachers about space station research, creates new opportunities for STEM participation, promotes exciting STEM careers, equips teachers with supplemental curriculum, fosters a love for learning. CASIS Academy Live. National Design Challenge. Storytime from Space. Student Spaceflight Experiments Program. PGA STEM Golf Camp. Ants in Space. Zero Robotics. Space Station Academy. CASIS Academy Live is a program designed to incite students' curiosity and encourage greater participation in STEM. This national STEM initiative introduces middle and high school students to research taking place on the space station. CASIS schedules researchers, NASA astronauts, and STEM advocates to come talk to students to emphasize the importance of STEM and career readiness. During CASIS Academy Live, students also participate in hands-on science activities that give them a taste of working in a real laboratory. CASIS is able to expand its research to classrooms across the nation through a great partnership with NASA's Digital Learning Network, which broadcasts live, interactive interviews with CASIS-sponsored space station researchers. Imagine sending your own research to the International Space Station. Well, National Design Challenge is a one-of-a-kind education program designed to bring the wonder of the space station right to the classroom. National Design Challenge provides educators and students an opportunity to design and implement authentic research experiments on the space station. Through strategic partnerships, students are provided with the necessary materials and support to develop and fly their experiments to the space station. Storytime from Space is a fun and interactive program that combines science, literacy, and awareness of the International Space Station. This project consists of videos of astronauts reading selected stories from the cupola of the ISS. In addition, astronauts will conduct simple physics demonstrations on video as well. As part of the project, award-winning author Dr. Jeffrey Bennett and astronaut Alvin Drew have written Max Goes to the Space Station, which launched a station along with 4 other books written by Dr. Bennett. Nothing demonstrates the importance of STEM like golf. This is definitely not your typical summer camp experience. CASIS, the PGA Center for Learning and Performance, and Cobra Puma Golf offer a 5-day golf summer camp for underprivileged middle school students. Throughout the week, students get a chance to show off their swing and learn about STEM careers. CASIS arranges guest speakers like engineers, researchers, scientists, and astronauts to come encourage students and talk about the importance of education and STEM careers. Students also engage in fun, hands-on activities that teach the fundamental elements of math and physics. Here at CASIS, we are expanding the walls of the classroom and defying the limitations of gravity to help students explore, learn, and grow. Students can now experience the International Space Station like never before, and explore what is possible through exciting careers in science, technology, engineering, and math. To learn more about this awesome STEM initiative, check out our website and connect with us via social media.
You know, people always ask me, Diane, what does golf have to do with the space station? Well, I'll tell you what it has to do with the space station. Everyone has probably heard of Puma. Puma has this hats and golf and sporting goods. Well, Cobra Puma Golf is a company that is actually going to be sending an experiment to the space station this fall. And you might think, well, gee, why would they want to do that? They want to do research in electrodeposition, and they're trying to find a better way to make materials for their golf clubs. And gee, so what? Well, if they can make a better golf club, then they're going to sell a lot more golf clubs, and a lot of people are going to be a lot happier with their golf game. So they have a commercial reason for sending research to the space station. It's kind of neat. But that's one of the things that CASIS is doing. Well, you know, on behalf of the Center for the Advancement of Science and Space, I'd like to congratulate the student researchers today for the amazing job you've done designing your experiments and communicating your ideas and your experimental results. And I'm going to hear a lot of those today. I encourage you to use this experience as a springboard to continue to think like scientists and to dive deeper into STEM, not just to prepare for the future, but to help to shape it. Because you know what? You guys have the right stuff, and I can't wait to hear your presentations. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, Diane.